Welcome to supersport.com, and if you'd been anywhere near the website this week and you're a rugby fan, you would have read a lot of words written by Brendan Nell, who's on tour with the Springboks for supersport.com. And Brendan, the first thing I'm going to ask you is about the column you wrote around Zane Kirshner. He's taken a real pounding following his selection. I guess the first thing is to say he doesn't select himself, and he's delivered in the past.
No, exactly. That's the first thing. No player selects himself. But I think also in Zane's case, a lot of the vitriol and anger around there has been based not on his game, but on either his hairstyle or the way he looks or the way he runs. And I feel that's really, if people think a bit further about the case and a bit further about the tactics that the Boks want to employ here in Brisbane, they'll realise that it could turn out to be a very good decision. We'll only see on Saturday, obviously.
Let's talk about those tactics, because what does the selection that's been made this week with 3 changes in personnel say about what you think about the way they're going to play?
Well, I think the first thing, if you look back at Mendoza, I think Willie le Roux's performance there, not his best. Missed a couple of balls in the air. And if I was Ewan McKenzie and I saw that, I would be smiling the whole way and say, well, look, there's the first guy we kick on all match. And I think to take a bit of pressure off Willie, they've moved him back to wing. He's very comfortable there. He played whole Super Rugby season there. And Zane's very solid under the high ball. He's very good with his tactical kicking. And him and Willie are going to roam off each other.
But don't you think Willie le Roux is going to be more dangerous playing off, especially a blindside wing, than he will be at fullback?
Well, I think so, definitely in his roaming role, because I think what people haven't realised is that if Ewan McKenzie, you're planning for this, do you plan for the Willie le Roux fullback or do you plan for Zane Kirshner? Because in the game they'll alternate, and I think that's going to keep the Wallabies guessing a bit. And Willie will roam in and out of the game at the back line and play distributor on attack, and in defence Zane will be there.
This is a relatively inexperienced Springbok backline compared to recent years. So how important do you think it's going to be for Ruan Pienaar and Morné Steyn to take this game by the scruff of the neck and dictate it?
Well, I think it's always difficult away from home, and then we've seen that over the years. We have a terrible record in Australia, and we need players. We need to play in the right areas of the game. We need obviously the forwards to lay the platform first of all, but those two need to control the game, put us in the corners, make sure we pin the Australians down and play the stranglehold game that the Boks want to play.
You say the forwards need to lay a platform. 2 interesting selections there. Bismarck du Plessis preferred to Adrian Strauss, Flip van der Merwe to Jean-Ray Creux.
Well, I think Adrian's played a lot of rugby this year. He played all the Super Rugby games, he's played all the tests so far. Bismarck's better on the ground, I believe. He's a much more dangerous player, and physically he's probably a little bit on Adrian there. Adrian's a great ball carrier, and I think it's probably, if there was a game to play him in, it would be this game. Flip is an interesting one. It's obviously bringing a bit more physicality. Boks want to dominate up front, and I think one of the big things is in the set phases they need to get on top very quickly to not just get on top, but just establish that mental aspect in the referee's mind as well.
Can they break the hoodoo of Suncorp Stadium?
Well, I must admit, I've been here with a lot of teams and haven't seen them win a lot, and they can, and it's a mindset. At the end of the day, you've got to play to your strengths, and you've got to make sure you do the little things right. Every little thing needs to be right, because then the big things become easier. I think they can. It's going to be difficult there. I think there's this perception that we should beat Australia always overseas, but it's going to be a very difficult game.
Well, the live broadcast starts at 11:45 Saturday morning, South African time. We'll be there in commentary. Brendan will be there updating you on supersport.com.